do this! Damn it, Joseph! You should have just stayed out of the way!
Are there sins you are ashamed of?
A more appropriate question would be, are there sins that you're not ashamed of? Anyway, welcome back to The Evil Within. This is the final episode of The Assignment. We're at the very end of Chapter 2. Kidman's story is told in 2 DLCs, The Assignment and The Consequence. The Assignment covers Chapter 1 and 2, and The Consequence covers Chapter 3 and 4. Chapter 1 was pretty much an introduction.
Wait a second. This house... No, it can't be.
Learning about Kidman, learning that she's an operative of a company called Mobius, which is behind the research that Jimenez and Ruben Victoriano had done.
Back and forth, killing time until the next service. She barely spent any time with us. I wondered why she even had children at all.
Miss Kidman, please tell me about your family.
Next subject.
No. We've prolonged this talk for a while now. It's important for our understanding of you.
They never gave a shit. Too caught up in that church of theirs. More like a cult. It was like a punishment. Nothing I ever did was good enough for them.
They abused you?
No. It was more like neglect. That's why when I just left, they didn't care. They never came looking, they just gave up.
And you never went back to them?
I did. A couple of years later, they were gone. Everyone was gone. It was like the whole town got up and moved. I should have felt something, but I didn't.
And how do you feel about it now?
The same. They can rot for all I care. It was strange, though. There's a statue in the center of town, an angel with its head in its hands. I used to just stare at it when I was young, thinking it was sad. But now, I felt like even that statue knew how pitiful life was there. What a terrible place.
That was the last document for A Part of My Past. There were only 3, so it's not like it was a huge hunt for them. But that completes our background history of Kidman. She lived in a kind of an oppressive religious family. Got sick of it, left when she was 14. Became a criminal on the streets of Crimson City. Racked up a pretty good jacket, arrest records. And then Mobius found her, made her an agent. Expunged her criminal record, put her as an operative inside the Crimson Police Department. I don't think they specifically meant to tie her to Sebastian or Joseph, just that's the way that worked out. She knew that she was going to be placed into the virtual world, if you will, of the STEM when they were being called to Beacon. She's been inoculated. You see that when, in the last episode, you saw that when Sebastian and Joseph were both hearing that, if you will, dial-up modem noise that is the stem cell latching into them. We found out in the last episode also that Dr. Jimenez was making his own STEM project at Beacon, so outside the bounds of Mobius, and he was going to make it wireless. So now we know why we associate that sound with them kind of going...
Leslie, stop!
Going nuts. Joseph a couple of times turned into a zombie-like creature. In our last episode...
It looked like it was crying for all the wasted life in that place.
In the last episode, Joseph turned into a zombie and attacked Kidman. Kidman wound up having to kill him. That's what you saw at the very beginning of this episode. So she's still sort of fighting the idea of being this agent. She really didn't want to hurt Joseph, But she's still, I believe, of the mind that, yes, I need to find Leslie. I need to get him out. That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. And you can see there's a stand to put another light on. Looks like there should be 4 lights. One stand is toppled over. But the visitations that she's been having with the administrator have gotten more and more tense as he was pushing more and more basically to kill Joseph. I'm not sure why he felt that that was absolutely necessary. I'm bored in the way I can't even see the thing. The boards from broken boxes go away, so just wait for it and come back. I'm assuming this is the lights out again, or maybe it's the lights on. Lights on work. You can see that we finished the personnel records. We still have one tape from Dr. Jimenez to find. And after this, we still have one scrap of paper to find. So we know we're going to find them in this episode. Complete those achievements. As well as complete the chapter in general, which completes the achievement of finishing the chapter.
A piece of my past. Stem must be creating this.
So she had a little bit more information about what STEM was than Joseph or Sebastian had when they were taken in. They were all taken in at the same time, but of course Sebastian, that we played through in the main game, he had no clue what was going on for most of it, which is only remarkable in that he seemed to stay mostly rational and sane during the process. Just being able to go from situation to situation, and okay, well, this is what I'm doing today. It seems like that would be very hard. At least with Kidman, with whatever inoculation she got, as well as some priming that she kind of, if not specifically know what was going to happen, she knew that things would be unusual. So now you see the statue restored, opens the door. That's the door where we saw Leslie go through just a few minutes ago. So she's still chasing Leslie.
In life, we constantly search for a place we feel safe, a home we can always come back to. We imagine that place in our minds and are drawn to it. You had a home, but now that place is here with us.
You might not recognize it, but the village that they were in, that she was in up there, is the village that Joseph and Sebastian found. Some of the areas will start to look more familiar. It was the area Joseph and Sebastian found right after climbing up into that tower. They're headed towards a church.
Reuben has no idea what he's done. It's not surprising that he doesn't care either. He was never motivated by fear of Mobius. The STEM prototype works, but only when connected to Reuben. I've checked the details, and he customized the whole system to only operate with his own brainwave pattern. I left him alone with the device for far too long. Trusted him too much, and despite all my knowledge in the field, it's past the point of fixing. I can't just flip a switch. And that's not the worst of it. They know as well. I'm not going to take the blame for this. I will drag him here and make him fix it. I can't imagine what they will do to him if he doesn't.
So there in the last of the doctor's notes, we find out why Jimenez eventually dissected Ruben alive and put his living brain and brainstem into basically the CPU of the STEM project, because Ruben had purposely made this stem where it would only react with him connected. I bet he didn't see that coming when he made that decision. So they may not have recognized it, but this, between the village and the church, you hear some bells ringing. Those aren't the church bells, but
They're drawn to it.
there's a graveyard.
Please,
And this is the
let me
graveyard where Sebastian and Joseph came at it from a slightly different angle. They wound up having to fight those two large giants. And then the Sentinel, I believe is what they called the dog, the
We've
kind
gotta
of
get to him
mutated
before those
dog.
things do.
There's an achievement that you can actually get here by running. It's hard to get it timed right, but if you go instead of going around this way, if you go through and draw those guys, those zombies into the next area, you can time it such that you get one of the cadavers, to actually grab one of them and explode. You're not very likely to survive that encounter. You'll survive the explosion, and I have survived it before, and gotten through it that way. This is the kind of the more normal approach to it. You can see that there are two cadavers. If you remember, they're blind, so they can't see you. You just have to be quiet. I'm surprised that worked. Her running in those high heels going clack, clack, clack. She needs to pick up this axe. There'll be one guy over there with a torch that's between you and the doorway. He's oddly able to see you pretty well here, unless you suck up against this gravestone. If you just try to stand behind the gravestone, he'll see you every time. But now you have an axe, you just need to be behind him to use it. So by taking that round through kind of the secret area, the mausoleum back there allowed you to get by the largest group of at least in this part of the map. He was carrying a torch. I wanted the torch, but she can't use the torch anyway, so it just goes out when she kills somebody with the torch. It just drops and goes out. Now here they cue you to look at the bell.
That should get them away from the gate.
Let me basically tell you what to do. Might be hard to see, but there's a little alcove there, or a little tunnel you can crawl through. Once again, one guy with the torch between you and what you need. And they conveniently give you an axe. This is just to show you that it's a circular path that they can come around from both directions there. Oddly, you are not safe up here. When you ring this bell, they will come and they will actually climb up here. Not just up the ladders, they will climb up the walls to get here. They will just appear up here. So as soon as you ring it, you need to get out of town. And the best place I found to go was to just run, jump over here. There's not a jump button, but if you're running when you get to the edge, it does that kind of jumping leap. They will have all run down that path right there. This gives you a nice little opening.
Leslie, it's all right. It's safe now. You can let me in.
Safe? It's safe now?
It's like, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Hurt. Damn it, that was close.
He's here.
Finally found you. You're not hurt, are you?
Getting stronger. Can't get away.
We'll be fine, Leslie.
Church.
How am I gonna get us out of here?
Church, please.
The church.
Please, church. Church.
All right, come on. Stay close to me. I'll protect you.
Church.
A lot of ominous music and a black screen. Okay. The key there is that you heard Leslie saying that he's getting stronger. I can't avoid him getting stronger. I don't know what happened to the camera there. Decided to look at my ankles for some reason. I mean, I didn't do it. The camera wound up at my feet. I'm not sure why. Now that's a telling scene. Ruvik turns into Leslie. Now Leslie's in front of you. So we've already found all the doctor's notes and all the personnel records. And here's our last safe with our last scrap of paper. Finding the piece of paper doesn't grant the achievement. Putting it together is what grants the achievement. And here you'll see what I've been saying is that you'll put them together, and you see there's a couple of them that are just kind of out of place. They're even out of place from where you left them. So I don't think they'll ever be. You just have to shuffle them around until it tells you you're done. I sensed it the moment Marcello triggered the machine. He had removed my mind from the core. He thought he figured out how to get around me, but he is such a fool. The brain is nothing but more than matter. My consciousness is omnipresent. I can see them all, their memories, their thoughts, their fears. And by pulling in so many people, I will consume them all. From the weakest first, each mind gives me more power to conquer. When does my world end and reality begin? From now on, that line begins to blur. All right, so we found all of the collectible items. We're ready to go on and finish the rest of the chapter. Now part of this might look more familiar to the main game. Obviously that's the church that they head to right at the end of chapter 6. The church in the main game is chapter 7. This is an area where Sebastian wound up fighting the two large giant brothers.
What the hell? You've got to be kidding me.
This is kind of a fun puzzle. At least I thought it was a fun puzzle. It tells you what happened at 5, then when she was 7, and then when she was 14. So at 5, there was a plague that killed all their cattle. At 7, her mother specifically became very religious. And tied to the church that way. And
Leslie,
at 14,
you
she
gotta hide.
left and told
Don't
them
come
that
out until I call
she had
you.
died and become an angel. It obviously isn't written out for exactly what you need to do, but you know, you find these symbols, you point your light at them, and you find stuff. So here's another symbol on the crypt. And you get a statue that looks like an angel with its wings spread, which might represent leaving the home, becoming free. So it might represent 14-year-old.
I guess you could say I started young. I would sneak into the graveyard, steal the statues, and hide them. I wanted people to think they were cursed, but every morning they were back in their right place.
Another crypt. Another statue. This one seems to have an animal's skull attached to the top of it. That, to me, would indicate the plague on the animals when their animals died. So that was 5-year-old Kidman. This is a statue with a religious symbol that you recognize from the churches and etc. You've seen that symbol all over the place.
I had enough. When
So
I
that would
knew
be
I could survive
7-year-old
on my own, I
Kidman.
left and told myself I would never come back.
Now, obviously, this seems like a bad idea, but you know, just for the fun of it. It was fun. It was fun. So. It's one of those things, you know. I'm sure the developers put it in there thinking nobody in their right mind that's played the original game would have Kidman pull this lever. But I'll bet you every one of the players that gets here pulls that lever. And we all do. Alright, so you see a 14 there. That's representing when she ran away. So this should be the angel with the wings. It just happened to be the first one that popped up on the things. Set that down. That's 5. So that would be the animal plague. So not that statue, but this statue with the animal head. And 7, representing her mother becoming religious. So the angel with the religious symbol on its back. And the door opens.
Come on, the
I like
church is
that puzzle.
right ahead. It should be a little safer in there.
It's not particularly hard, and even if you had to brute force it and just kind of move them around, there's not that many combinations. So, but you feel good when you solve it. If you actually solve it and have a meaning and an understanding of it. At least I felt good. All right, now if you remember, this is the arena where Sebastian had to fight the Sentinel, that large mutated dog. And Joseph had his glasses knocked off, and then Sebastian had to go back and get Joseph's glasses too. Kidman's just facing just one of the brothers. This is, I mean, obviously a stealth thing. She has no way of fighting this. This is just try not to be seen. You do have to hide. You can't just kind of wander off into the bushes and try to go around, and you have to hide. You need to hide until you kind of have a clear shot behind him. I'm trying to get far enough to when I run. She has no stamina, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't run out of stamina before I get there. Oh, almost ran out of stamina anyway.
We should go.
Now, remember at the beginning of Chapter 7 in the main game, when Joseph and Sebastian were at the church, you heard Kidman and Leslie speaking, and they seem to be underground.
Get you. Church. Get you.
It's all right. I'm here. Nothing is going to get you. You have to stay with me. There's no other way.
He's here!
Ruvik, what do you want with me?
I'm just making sure you're doing your job. Just like me, I doubt they want damaged goods.
Back up! He's coming with me!
Oh, I hope so. I needn't remind you the consequences for failure. Your people aren't the only ones counting on this boy. You need him to get out.
As do I. We're all their pawns, eventual victims. They killed me. They ripped me apart and took what they needed. I will destroy what they wish to control.
Ruvik? Stop it! Let him go!
He is my vessel. I am in control.
I sense a conflict of interest. Just what was your mission exactly? Do you think their all-prying eyes can't see and hear? They've been watching you, kid.
What are you doing, kid? You are to bring the boy back to us.
No! I can't! If I bring Leslie out, Ruvik comes with him. We don't know what he's capable of. I can't let that happen.
You swore allegiance, but you are not in a position to make decisions like this. This is not acceptable behavior. You will bring us back that boy. Run all you want, kid. You can't escape. Like everyone else that crosses us, we will hunt you down. Come back, kid. You have a job to do.
This sequence can get kind of tricky the first time you see it. Mostly just remember where you make the mistake and don't make the same mistake next time you play it.
Stop running.
No! Stop! Get away from me!
I mean, the clues are on the wall. Stay away from the shadows. So when you see shadows coming from the right, go to the left. And don't do that. So here's our only death. I wanted to show you this. I thought it was a very cool death. Visually, it's just very stunning. I like it. All right. We'll make it through it this time. Promise.
Come back, kid. You have a job to do.
There's just so much to unpack about that conversation with Ruvik, and Ruvik controlled Leslie, and then the administrator.
Stop running.
But I don't really want to talk over this part. I mean, this part's... It's almost too bad that there isn't a break there for you to digest what was said better. Pauses like that are very likely to get you killed. I feel kind of lucky that I managed to get out of that.
We can't have you acting on your own. You will follow us.
And there's the hospital.
We'll break
bring us back that boy.
And that's the end of the assignment. The first two chapters of the Kidman story. The next two chapters are covered in the consequence. There's a little prelude to the consequence here that comes at the end by finishing the assignment. You get this little prelude.
Having all of you in one place will provide us with opportunities.
I can't trust you! Not like this!
No. She's coming with us. She's my responsibility.
Look, Seb, we need to talk. You're getting out of control.
Finally, with this machine, I can go back.
We can continue the experiments.
There are some things here that are to remain in the dark.
Beacon. I just hope I can get there before he does.
I hope you've enjoyed our gameplay.
A little hasty.
I hope you'll
with
stick
that
with us
gun,
through the
kid.
consequence.
What is it
And we
you
will see you
plan on
tomorrow
doing?
with the first part of the first chapter 3.
What I have to do.